Good afternoon, everybody. Emerson in the morning, WNBC. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Oh, hope you survived the weekend. Midnight's Edge After Dark. This is Rob, Robot Shlomo, coming to you from Shabby Road Studios. With us, as always, Mr. Tom Connors.
Barely.
Yes.
I've had a rough weekend.
He's had a rough weekend, you know. That's
Me too.
the dog. He let the dog out, you know. And this is a part about, his ex-wife showed up.
Except I've never been married.
That's the worst part. Your ex-wife showed up and you were never married. Isn't that the worst part? And with us as always,
story.
Yeah, it is. With us as always is the ever lovely, vivacious, and ebullient Miss Mecha-Random.
Hello.
You don't mind being called Miss Mecha-Random, do you?
Hey, we got Cardboard Kenny. How you doing, Cardboard Kenny? So hit that like button, you lazy nerds. That's right.
Holy shit, Cardboard Kenny, we need to get you on our paranormal occult podcast. You would fit right in.
Or that show too, but I meant this show.
And this show.
What's up, Cardboard Kenny?
But we love the rest of you too. Joker79 and Scravage and Daniel Irwin and the rest of you out there. Larry, Eric Kelly, who's always a regular. Yep, Max Mercer.
Well, speak for yourself. I hate everybody, but it's an equal hate.
Kyle Mike, there's a name that you can hate. Christian Stileski. I don't know if I said that right, but it sounds like a name around here, so I probably did. Yeah. And of course, we got Seraph in there. He's in there too, and Mayhem.
Yeah,
Mahims.
Yeah. Well, Mahims.
First grade Jedi.
Mahavis. I know Mahavis.
Shogun Orta.
Oh boy, yep. Let me get my note.
Patreon, thank you so much.
Yeah, let me gather my notepad here.
The bad guys get into regular. I'm assuming that's a Game of Thrones spoiler. I've never seen the show. Rob's never seen it either, have you?
Yeah, my brother was asking me today, how could you not watch Game of Thrones? You'd love it. I'm like, how could you not watch Rick and Morty?
The fact that you love it is why I probably won't. No.
They're talking about Game of Thrones. I'm like, you do realize we've hit peak television. We're all sitting around talking about television.
If you ever watched it, this would be Rob's reaction. I can get better porn online for free.
Exactly. See, that's the problem with it. It's dragons and boobs and not enough of either. And they take so long to get to anything like that. There was a whole season I tuned out of Game of Thrones where they didn't really do anything. Like they had whole characters that just left. You didn't even see them for the whole season. So I'm like, all right, you guys don't care enough to write anything about these characters who are off on this important mission or quest or whatever. Then I just can't be arsed to come back and watch your show. But I might be in a mood. I don't know.
But like Sasura Spell Shield has a very important, I don't think his is a question, but mine is a question. Is there dragon boobs?
I don't know.
See, I can't imagine you get a lot of dragon boobs in real porn. So if you get dragon boobs, that might have something going for it. No, Daniel Irwin says Game of Thrones is the most overrated show of all time. It's one of those things I'm afraid to watch it now, but I might as well wait till it's over and just binge the whole thing if I'm going to get into it kind of thing.
Yeah, I think I'll just binge the last 3 seasons once it's done.
Because it just feels so built up. And I've had that happen to me so many times when people build stuff up to this huge,
I'm yelling at my mic. I'm not realizing I had it muted. I'm like this. Damn you, Blue Yeti. But anyway, I'm saying, the way everybody talks about it, I'm like, you people all play Dungeons and Dragons, don't you? That's what this sounds like. It all sounds like Dungeons and Dragons. Westeros and a mage and dragon.
Get an idea of what it is from those South Park episodes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Floppy wiener.
That's pretty accurate.
Well, anyway.
He's just gonna stab you in the back. I set up, man. He said to the other kid the same damn thing.
Yeah, well.
How you been? That's right, Cartman. All right. Yeah, we got Star Wars news. Celebrations going on.
Yeah,
Celebrate good times.
good times. Throw down.
Yeah. Well, we got some leaked footage we can talk about. We can't show it, but we can talk about it.
I can do the reenactment. I can do it. I'll reenact it for you.
I'm just gonna assume that a lot of you out there, you probably have already found it.
The Mandalorian. There you go. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's basically a behind the scenes sizzle reel of Mandalorian. We also had a trailer for what's the name of the game, Rob?
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order.
Which takes place.
Why can't you be a Sith? Like the very last thing in the trailer is like become a Jedi. I don't want to be a Jedi. I want to be a Sith.
Well, that's what Star Wars Galaxies was for.
Yeah, but did it do it or no?
Well, Jedis were really rare in Star Wars Galaxies because you had all different classes. But yeah, obviously you can't have 100,000 people Jedi running around. But
Cardboard Kenny said he played one game of D&D and it was 30 years ago and he was killed in 10 minutes. That's not even worth it because usually don't you spend like forever making your character and shit?
Yeah, they'll spend like days making their characters.
That's all I remember from it.
Go listen to the Stephen Lynch song D&D. It's
I love it.
Yeah, it's D&D, fighting with the legends of yore. It's D&D, never kissed a lady before. Nope.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool as far as like sitting there and imagining and having a group of people like play act out this thing, almost like a script reading. But at the same time, you get to a point where it's like, wouldn't this be easier and more exciting if somebody would put all this shit together in a video game? I mean, seriously.
Yeah. They have it. It's called Knights of Pen and Paper. That's brilliant. I really love the Knights of Pen and Paper series. The second one is a little better than the first one because it's less of a mobile game design, so there's a lot less grinding. But yeah, it's good. I would play D&D if I could have like the computer do it for me, and I didn't have to like go out and meet with real people in real life to do it. And that's what Knights of Pen and Paper is.
Well, even if you're playing with other people, it still sounds like it'd be a little bit easier and fun and more fun, and it'd take a lot less time to create a character and all that kind of crap if it was all kind of set up for you in advance on a video game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't like my character the only time we played D&D.
Jeff Fisher.
That's right.
I don't know. I was a hobbit. That's all I remember. Shogun Order was $2.
Ka-ching. Shogun Order. They did make a video game on Xbox for D&D.
Was it?
They had what was it called?
Gauntlet.
No.
Because I'm sure they did plenty of the movie, but that's probably followed the movie story.
Neverwinter Nights, was that the one based on
Neverwinter Nights? And there was EverQuest, which was kind of the same thing.
EverQuest, I remember playing. Yeah.
All right. Well, we've gotten way off topic.
Yes, we have. The Mandalorian footage. All right.
Yeah.
It's one of the few things. Let's talk about that first. Why not?
Yes. Okay. You know what? I keep saying this. It was Star Wars is dead. It's Star Wars, at least in the movies, in the movie form, is probably limping along. But I gotta say that. All right. You know what? Looks interesting. I'll admit it. Looks interesting. They noticed they showed Dave Filoni. They made sure they went out of their way to show Dave Filoni.
I think they had to.
Yeah, and all these great directors that they should have had direct episode 8 instead of Ryan Roundhead Johnson.
Here's Taika Waititi. Yay! The crowd goes wild.
That was funny. Kind of like the reaction for the trailer was not what I expected because any other time it's like you can't even fucking hear nothing.
Yeah,
this trailer was like, yay, woo!
It looks that
Lando showed up and it was like woo, and then the end when you're, and then everybody started going a little crazy, but it wasn't nearly the reaction they got to the Force Awakens trailer.
Oh, it was, or even Last Jedi trailer was still pretty well received from what I remember, right?
Yeah,
I remember that trailer had a lot of promise. It probably. I don't remember if I saw.
Oh, it got me. It got me. It had porgs. I'm like, oh, that is the cutest thing ever. I rushed out and bought all the porgs.
Yeah. Then we all found out the ugly truth.
Son of a bitch, who did that?
Yeah.
You did right. So anyway, there was only one shot of Crazy KK.
Yeah,
in the trailer.
She was sitting down.
That's
on her butt.
Yeah, that was deliberate. Yeah, talking to John.
Did you notice the shot
John
of
Favreau.
George Lucas though?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
We'll talk a little more about him in a little bit.
Yeah, but I got to say, I really do hope they keep this guy's helmet on because.
Well, Favreau said it was a him. I did take note of that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people who think that this is going to be a woman underneath, and I can see what they're getting at, especially now that I've seen some footage, because it almost does look like they're trying to hide breasts.
Mm-hmm. But the guy's was his name Pablo Pascal or something like that.
Yeah, that's one of the writers. Yeah.
Oh, what? Yeah. No. The guy playing the Mandalorian. There is a guy playing the Mandalorian.
Oh, is that who it is? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of the guy that you had Twitter beef with, Mecca. Pablo Hidalgo.
Oh, Pablo Hidalgo. Yeah. He's not an actor or anything. He's like he's one of those Lucasfilm.
He's one of the writers. That's what I was thinking. I forgot.
Yeah.
All right. I got the two mixed up. My bad.
Yeah, this is the guy. This is the. I'll screen share it. This is the guy here playing the Mandalorian. I'm bringing this up right now.
While Rob's doing that, he said Favreau did say it was in a different time period we've never seen before.
If I send you this image, will we get struck for it? It's basically an image of like Boba Fett looking.
No, they dropped
riding
the images, but the trailer is getting struck left and right. Okay. So I think we can show the images. There was some images that were dropped, like Carl Weathers and some other ones.
Because basically this makes the Star Wars Holiday Special canon. If that is that the same like lizard dinosaur thing that that they were writing in
it looked like a dewback in the holiday special. Okay. Was like a dragon thing.
Okay, never mind. Yeah. So I sent you a screenshot of
using it with the famous picture of the stormtrooper on the dewback. Probably.
That's right. That's probably
the exact same kind of pose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'm trying to find those pictures now. Sorry.
I sent you one screenshot here over on Twitter.
Well, I actually had some official pictures here from. I'm just trying to find them, but if I don't find those,
but like I said, they're looking to win back a lot of the goodwill. They're really
tour.
Yeah, pretty much.
We dubbed it.
This is part of Lucasfilm. See now, okay.
Tour.
Now that's pretty badass, right there.
I've never been a Boba Fett fan. Okay, that's the full disclosure. That's why I'm not like all dressed about this. If I probably was, I'd probably be like creaming in my shorts. So I get the guys and gals that are all fucking turned on by this. And I'm sorry to anybody who I'm doxing there on the thing there. So and then we got this one and Carl Weathers, looking like Carl Weathers. And then we got the picture that you used basically for our thumb. So there you go, guys. That's the pictures, and I'll see what Mecca sent me here.
I know that there's the whole thing. Actors don't want to act behind a helmet, but keep the helmet on as much as possible because you want to build some mystery. You want to build some mystique, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And look at Carl Urban in Dredd. He didn't take off the helmet once. There you go. There's the dewback. That's a
that is the same weapon though. That is the same weapon though that the original Boba Fett had.
Oops. Right.
Ooh, look, we're live now. Oh, check out. See, there's our soundboard, people. For anybody complaining.
There we go. All right, there's that. Okay. All right, we're not even remotely ready for any of this shit. Yeah, you sent me a few other chats.
But we're not. It's not that we're ready. I mean, we're just you know we're going on the fly as we're having a spontaneous.
We're never ever ready, Rob. We're never ready.
Well, yeah, I've never been ready for a single thing in my entire life. Why should I start now?
Oh shit!
This on Star Wars. Give me Dread 2. Cardboard Kenny says. Well,
there you go.
We're getting a Mega City TV series. Oh, check out that dude.
Yeah, there's some cool
Dude's
looking
pretty
little.
good.
There's some cool little things in here. You know, you see like they're doing member berries again. Hey, remember that? Remember this? Remember?
Yeah, they are. They're definitely doing giving us some member berries. But at the same time, you know, they're saying, was that Gina Carano? I don't think it was. I don't think it's Gina Carano in this thing. Could be wrong. But like I said, you know, the whole thing is this is definitely part of the Lucasfilm apology tour, and they need. I think they really understand there's a need to get this right. There's no second chance with this. And if this goes over well, then the series from the Game of Thrones dudes are just gonna.
Casio Keyboard has his series too. Don't forget that.
That's
Casio Keyboard.
Yeah.
Or wait, Casio or whatever the fuck his name is.
What's this? This is a new character, the Casio Keyboard. There, I mean, he has to stay alive just long enough to die in Rogue One.
I know it's pointless. Why?
Right?
Okay,
Why?
it is Gina. It is Gina Carano. Okay. Right.
There's one thing though that this is a little slightly off topic, but it is on topic with Disney Plus. Rob, remember how you were complaining about not getting any more Agent Carter?
Oh yeah,
we're getting a What If Agent Carter series on Disney Plus.
Sweet. Oh, I love Haley Atwell. Well, it's animated. The What If series is animated.
Yeah, I don't know if she's involved, but
still, Agent Carter.
That's right.
What if? Yeah, Agent Carter. That was
most of the time their animated stuff is pretty connected, or at least it has.
Yeah. That is a grossly that was a grossly underappreciated series.
Because what's his face who does Coulson did the voice for Coulson in that Spider-Man series too.
Oh yeah. You know, the actor who played Clark Gregg. Just an episode story. Yeah. I mean, the actor who played the butler, Jarvis, who was the inspiration for the AI Jarvis. Yeah, that guy was really good. Dominic Cooper appeared as Howard Stark in the first episode. That was good. That was great. I love that. Like that. Hey, let me tell you, I don't understand why you had to have two guys playing Howard Stark.
Well, they had the younger version and the older version.
Yeah. But it's just look like two totally different guys. You couldn't age them or anything, you know?
Yeah, that was before they started doing the aging stuff.
Mm.
And I honestly, if they hadn't already had what's his face in part 2, I can't think of the actor's name, but he's a great actor.
Yeah. Dominic Cooper?
No, Dominic Cooper plays the younger version. The older version.
Oh yeah, you're right. The Mad Men guy.
Yeah, they brought him back for Civil War and stuff.
My niece was like 10, 11 years old at the time, and she really doesn't know anything about comics or Captain America. And but she'd seen Iron Man, and she saw Captain America, and she said she turned to her dad, my brother, to her dad. Dad, that's the guy. That's Tony Stark's dad, isn't it? she knew enough that was Tony Stark's dad.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's proof that you can make a very memorable character, because somebody who has no investment whatsoever in that character, no reason to remember the character's name. And that's what pisses me off. And I know when a movie is not doing a good job is when I can't remember the names of the characters or shows. For instance, when it comes to Star Trek Discovery, that's a perfect example. If I can't remember the character's name, then you're doing a piss poor job.
Yeah.
Max Mercer says, "What's Dominic Cooper doing now?" I think he's on Preacher.
He's a good actor. I love seeing him when he pops up and whenever he does. Yeah, he's on Preacher now. Yeah. I haven't seen that, but I've heard pretty good things about it. But
great, yeah. I love the whole scene with the hover car, with the hover. Yeah, that was great. I'm like, shield hover car. I was like, yeah, shield hover car.
But of course, now we know what the title of episode 9 is going to be. We got to see a little bit of the leaked material. I don't know if any of you guys out there did. We saw a few pictures here, but If you can find it, go for it. It's probably worth it if you're, I think most of the fans are going to like this show. I'm personally just like, I'll wait and see. I like the talent behind it, but I'm not so turned on by the idea of a Mandalorian running the show. Now, if it was a group of bounty hunters, I might be more interested.
Well, the Mandalorians were always, from what I've read, the Mandalorians were always kind of a loose kind of network.
But now they've been retconned into basically being what the equivalent of the clone is if they're the same family line as Boba Fett anyway. But I know they're a whole different race of people and whatever. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with this. And it's supposed to be set in a time period we've never seen before. And it appears, what would you say, is a more futuristic time period, it looks like?
About 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, we've actually explored that time period.
Yeah, we've said that. They've said it's that time period.
Yeah.
Well, but that's kind of cheating because we kind of have, but we haven't, I guess.
But that, to me, that's a little bit more interesting because you still have the remnants of the Empire. And you still have, really, I mean, the order really hasn't come to the galaxy just yet.
So then you know what it's about. It's about Boba Fett. If that's the period it's in, it's got to be.
This guy's not Boba Fett though.
Or Boba Fett would be getting that age in this period, so that makes no sense then to have two very similar characters in the same time frame. Yeah, because by the time we get to Star Wars and Empire, Boba Fett's already got a name for himself.
But like I said, though, I mean, there's the Mandalorians there's always a lot of them, or not a lot of them, but it was kind of a loose kind of network. They were kind of like the Hell's Angels, I guess. Is what they're,
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it isn't Boba, but that just, to me, if there's more than one guy out there like Boba Fett, that's just kind of makes him less special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, there was a whole storyline, wasn't there? About and if anybody in the chat knows about this.
And they said Rebels messed up a lot of the Mandalorian storyline too, and I did see a little bit of Rebels, and I do know isn't there a character on there that's a Mandalorian?
I think so. I think you're right.
Yes.
But there was a whole storyline about in the EU, I believe, about how the Mandalorians were actually defeated by the Jedi, and that was how.
Makes no sense.
Well,
see, now that wouldn't sync up though with the Clone Wars then, because why the fuck would Sidious want Mandalorians for his army if they couldn't beat Jedi? I mean, necessarily they probably couldn't beat Jedi per se as far as like power to power with the will of the Force, but obviously they got the drop on them.
Yeah. Neil saying was Knights of the Old Republic. I read this in a magazine, like in a fanzine, like Starlog or whatever, years and years ago. I'm talking like 1997.
Okay, well, if then Jango Fett wasn't a Mandalorian, and Boba Fett's not a Mandalorian, then okay, whatever, I guess.
Well, part of the Mandalorian code was that if you had a son, you would train him to take your place eventually. That was part of the code.
Okay, and Joker's now 79 is saying that there were literally thousands of past Mandalorians who wore that armor, so there's nothing special about them. See, that just totally takes anything out of,
See, I'm not a huge Boba Fett fan either.
I wasn't either. And what little interest I had in him is now pretty much just gone out the window. So he's nothing but a pussy. He didn't do anything.
He got taken out like a biatch.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, he didn't catch nobody. All he did was follow Han. He didn't catch Han. He got Han handed over to him by Vader.
Mm-hmm.
He's coolest animated portion of the. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it says Jango wasn't considered a Mandalorian. What was he then? He's wearing a uniform.
Yeah.
I'm confused as fuck, and I don't care. I'm one of those Rob, where we don't like to do homework, guys.
Yeah, same here.
If not in the movies, then it really doesn't exist to us. I'll be honest with you.
The whole thing about but it'll make sense if you read this tie-in novel. I'm like, no,
I don't want to read the tie-in novel though.
No, that's giving me homework. I don't want to read the tie-in novel because it's DLC.
And I think the Last Jedi novel really fucking ruined that for anybody trying to use that as any kind of an excuse. Because if you have to fix your movie with the novel, that's a problem.
Pretty much. And that's what they tried to do with Star Trek Discovery too. No, it'll make sense if you read this. Yeah, no, it'll make sense if you read this novel that we wrote.
Fuck you! I'm not reading novel. Even my dog agrees. Yeah.
Doggy.
I just gotta go potty. You gotta go outside.
Where you go, doggy? Where you go, doggy?
You gotta go potty. Yeah.
Well, if
she's trying to get me up, so I'll be right back.
All right, we'll go do your business. We'll talk amongst ourselves here. We'll talk about how. We'll talk about how actually. Apparently, somebody said I'm definitely getting a tattoo. I'm like, I am. Yes, you are. I'm like, okay, I guess I am. Anybody out there have tattoos?
I don't
either.
Should I get one at Star Trek Las Vegas?
Get like a playing card with the Star Trek with the Starfleet Delta.
Time Flip says Boba Fett was an explorer. He explored the inside of the Sarlacc. There, that's the version of Boba Fett that I like. The one from Robot Chicken. I love that Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Love that Boba Fett. Have you ever watched where somebody went and took? Because throughout that entire Star Wars thing, all of those stories actually connect. There's like 3 or 4 stories that they just kind of chopped up and spread out throughout the show. Mm-hmm. So there's like a whole little storyline of Boba Fett getting out of the Sarlacc pit. Oh, we got a special guest.
Welcome.
Hey, Mary. How you doing?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Oh, fantastic.
We're great. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me. Are you kidding? Oh, my God.
We're talking Star Wars, all the news. Hopefully you're up to date on all the news, the leaks, all the stuff.
So I have seen the trailer. I watched a lot of the Geeks and Gamers coverage of it.
Mm-hmm.
What was going on? So I should be fine.
Good. Awesome.
Mary, for those who are not familiar with you in our crowd, though, why don't you give them a quick rundown of where they can find your channel and who you are, what you do, all that good stuff.
Oh, I am Mary Mayhem, and I cover pop culture, mostly Star Wars, Marvel, things like that. And I also like to kind of debunk a lot of the nonsense that I'm sort of, I guess you could call me like an anti-feminist in a lot of ways. Or maybe a better term would be like a original.
You're for equality. We're for equality.
Right.
We're not like these man-hating feminazi bitches out there.
You'll probably fit right in. That's the point.
Yeah, so essentially that's me. And yeah, you can find me over on Mary Mayhem, and yeah, I hang out over there, and that's what I do.
So yeah, we were just talking about the Mandalorian footage that leaked. We don't know if you saw that, or if anybody's seen
not seen that yet, actually. But I would love to be filled in on it.
Well, we're not as turned on by it, but Mecca was pretty excited to see it. Rob was really excited to see it.
Was it?
Were you or no?
Oh, I'm not really.
For the Mandalorian?
I'm mildly interested.
Mildly interested.
Video game. Okay, so I oversold that.
Sorry. I'm just Star Wars now.
Talk to me that way, you third-rate tot.
No, I think I wasn't like the hugest fan of like the expanded universe stuff anyway, just because, like you said, it's homework. But you get this sort of, I don't know. It's just like this is more of the same. Like you have a new video game, and then you've got like the new TV series with a character I don't care about, and I don't know. I might just be a grumpy old person though.
Grumpy old person, whatever. No, man. I mean, like, honestly, I'm kind of in the same boat as Mecca. I'm a little worn out on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah. You know, it's back when Disney bought Lucasfilm, they were saying, oh, yeah, we're planning on one Star Wars movie a year, one every 2 years. And then in the off year, you're going to have an anthology film. I'm like, yeah, bring it. Now I'm like, maybe that wasn't such a good idea, guys.
Well, I mean, I'm not behind the notion that there's like Star Wars fatigue, because I don't think that would be the case if we've been being given good content, But I don't feel like we've been given anything to really be excited for, anything to get really hyped over. I think things would be drastically different if they'd done because I mean, we weren't worn out on Marvel, right? Like we're all gung ho with Marvel for the most part, but none of the content's very exciting.
Yeah, that's something that Andre always expresses too. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that with Marvel too.
Yeah, since you didn't get to see the footage for Mandalorian, we'll move past that anyway. We've talked about it enough. I posted the story for you there, Rob. If I could talk today, it'd be a miracle. I heard this rumor a while back from one of my sources, and I said something about it on one of the shows. I don't remember where it was, but I guess it's true. I heard a rumor that Lucas had helped with Episode 9, and I guess that's what is looking to be the situation. Tell us all about that, Rob.
Well, it looks like Lucas helped with Episode 9.
You did such a good job of that.
Don't I? Where's the story? Let's see. Hold on. Let me bring that up. Well, they called me up. They wanted me to say that we really should help on this.
Ryan Johnson fucked up my whole story. So they called me, and I thought Kathy'd do a better job than this, but I guess she's better at getting coffee than she is at telling stories about.
Well, do you think? She's just a glorified secretary.
I should have thought it too, but Steven said no.
Let's ask Ryan Johnson how he feels. Ryan, how do you feel about what's going on with undoing your movie?
Son of it.
Oh, he's all choked up.
Well, he's got Kathleen Kennedy's dick in his mouth. That's the problem.
That's right. And
you can argue all you want. She's got bigger balls than me and Rob put together, I bet. Especially after what she allowed that bastard to do.
Right?
Didn't you hear he's completely fine with them retconning it, guys?
He'd be a hypocrite if he said anything otherwise, because he retconned everything else. Not just the plan, but everything.
Like what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Is say no? I worked. They're gonna undo everything I did. What's going? No, he's gonna look like a dick, and he's gonna prove everybody right too.
Wow. I mean, I thought he'd already done that.
Well, he's probably been told to sit down, sit up, and play nice, or he's not going to get his trilogy.
Well, Kathleen Kennedy is having a meeting with Benioff Weiss and Ryan Johnson next month, according to Hollywood Reporter. I want to say that, and she's yeah. So they're gonna have their little meeting next month. I think he probably got a talking to, said, "Hey, this might be an exit meeting. If you just say anything else you shouldn't," basically.
Could be. And also, I just want to point out, and I think Andre's going to bring this up in one of his editorials coming up here. In all the things that Bob Iger has said so far, he has not once mentioned Ryan Johnson's trilogy.
I know, right?
He's mentioned the Game of Thrones guys stuff, all the television and all that kind of stuff. He said there's other movies in development, but not once has he mentioned Ryan Johnson. Not once.
Exactly. Well, and he's also said that they're going on hold too. Like they're going to slow down. Or has he
ever really mentioned Kathleen Kennedy, for that matter? He's just said the Lucasfilm team is what he keeps saying. And of course, we reported on a buttload of rumors earlier this year or later last year about George Lucas getting back involved somehow. And then like I said, I'd heard that he had actually helped JJ with his story. So here you go, guys. Tell us all about this, Rob.
Yeah. Okay. How George Lucas helped finish Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker. Joshua Yell. Interesting name. The new teaser trailer for Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker features quite the surprise. As the trailer comes close to the screen, cuts to black, our ears are filled with the cackling of Emperor Palpatine. It's a laugh cold enough to send shivers down your spine. Well, not mine, apparently. And a character inclusion crazy enough to make your head spin. My head was firmly planted on my shoulders. Thank you very much. He met his electrifying end in Return of the Jedi. After all, IGN talked to director, co-writer J.J. Abrams at Star Wars Celebration Chicago. How about on how the iconic film came to be part of the film, and his answer included meeting with the maker himself, George Lucas. This movie had a very, very specific challenge, which was going to take 8 films and give an ending to 3 trilogies. So we had to look at what is this? What is the bigger story? Pardon me. Let me get a drink of water here.
Rob's getting a drink of water.
My throat's dry. What? Turn my headphones up.
His
See,
throat is dry.
I think they're keeping it a secret now that they like need to save face now that they're letting this out.
So, like I said, it's the Lucasfilm apology tour.
I think
Yeah.
I think all the shit we heard about him being involved with the Obi-Wan, well, now we know it's a series and not a movie.
Mhm.
You know, and that's the same thing when people, I got to say this real quick because people keep jumping on. Well, you guys said you were wrong. You said it was that the con thing was a series and Nick Myers told you yourself. Well, he's the one who told us it was a movie. Nobody knew before that it was going to be a trilogy. Everybody said series in their reporting. So anyway, again, here we go. This is just one of those situations where the information wasn't completely correct, but there was some truth to the matter, I bet. So yeah, and them rumors also included him helping with episode 9, and now we know that's true. So JJ confirmed it himself.
Only JJ says this movie had very, very specific challenge, which is take 8 films. Okay, give an ending to trilogy. Okay, yeah. We had conversations amongst ourselves. We met with George Lucas before writing the script. Abrams revealed these were things that were in real, not debate, but looking at the vastness of the story and trying to figure out what was the way to conclude this. But it has to work on its own as a movie. It has to be its own thing. It has to be surprising, mystery box, and funny, and you have to understand it. Check out Abrams' full response here. Months ago, it was rumored that Lucas was being consulted for episode 9 to help make it a satisfying conclusion to the saga that he started. So now Abrams has confirmed that involvement. Abrams didn't specifically cite Lucas as the person who came up with the idea to put Palpatine in The Rise of Skywalker, but given that Abrams brought up Lucas while discussing The Fallen Emperor, it may well have been him. The original trilogy, Lucas presented Palpatine as the powerful boss who commanded Darth Vader while lurking in the shadows before trying to lure Luke Skywalker to the dark side, and the planet literally blew up in his face. Yeah, there was a Force Bukkake. Blew up in his face. Lucas then used a prequel to show the Sith Lord's origin, including his rise to power and transformation into lightning blasting despot. With Palpatine being a major figure in nearly all of Lucas's Star Wars films, it makes sense why it'd be appropriate to include him in the final chapter of the whole saga. IGN also talked to Oscar Isaac about taking a leadership role in the Resistance now that he says Leia's gone. Film will be released then, yada, yada, yada. Nobody cares. Okay. So anyway, yeah, looks like, yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. I mean,
I think everything is true. Don't you think? Like, so many of our, like, if this rumor is true, and then the rumors are true that, you know, Rian Johnson threw out the whole trilogy or threw out JJ's treatment, and that there was a treatment. Like, I think there's so many things that we've been hearing that are just true.
A lot of stuff they're not admitting to.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of have to dance. You know, when they're obviously they're going to dance around that. You know, they're the last thing they're going to say, yo, maybe people were right about this.
Well, no, but they're sort of sidestepping it and like admitting it, but not admitting it, you know, at the same time.
Right.
Because you recognize everything hit the fan, and there has to be some negotiating done on the table here. Like we have to talk about this at least to the extent, or acknowledge this at least to the extent that they recognize the fan base is split. They may not want to acknowledge that we're a significant portion of the fan base, but they do know it. So,
Oops, sorry. Go ahead and say what you're going to say.
No. They have to rectify this situation if they want to have any chance at salvaging this.
You said rectify.
It's a word.
Phrasing.
Yeah.
Phrasing. Boom.
Okay, we got a couple super chats there, Rob or Mecca, whoever else.
Who wants to read them? I'll read them.
Yeah, go ahead.
Not Star Wars related, but would you guys consider reviewing The Twilight Zone 2019? Doomcock has done some, but I'd like to get your guys' take and Mecca.
I'll review it right now. We've already got one. So,
If anybody who has probably the most knowledgeable, well, Rob is pretty knowledgeable of the show too. I had a passing, I haven't seen it in so many years that I remember a few episodes here and there, but Mecca and Rob have a really good recollection of a lot of the episodes, so they'd probably be able to give a better review than I
have a lot of favorites. I have a lot of favorite episodes.
It's like, I don't want to waste my time on a reboot. I mean,
You know?
save your time. Just watch the original. We've already got Twilight Zone. We don't need another one with the same episodes.
If you want to watch the another series by Rod Serling. Watch The Nightmare Room as well. ST Fanboy, $5 Super Jack. They'd be saying Lucas is involved just to bring people in. CBS did the same thing with Spock. Yeah, could be. Like I said, it's trying to win back goodwill.
Oh yeah, it's just like Rise of Skywalker. Dumbest name in history, but it's going to bring in a lot of fanboy.
It's a marketing name. It is a focus group name. What do people want the most? We polled all these Star Wars viewers and fans, and they said they want more Skywalkers. So we're going to name it that.
Yeah, essentially, yeah, that's exactly what they did. At least it's sort of a way of acknowledging we pooped up a bit, right? Like they recognize Skywalker means something to everyone.
Oh yeah, what JJ has said here, what Bob Iger has said in not only his recent interviews but the past, and a few other people have said. Oh, they're not only acknowledging that they fucked up, they're very aware of that they fucked up. And I really don't know where these stories of Kathleen Kennedy being around for another 10 years are coming from either.
No, they're just laying out the 10-year plan for Star Wars.
They can do that, but I don't see Kathy staying past that 3-year window.
No,
there's a reason for that. And like I said, everything that's already been set in motion was before the decision had to be made.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a reason she was just given this pass, basically, because nobody else wanted to take the job. That's
Well, Bob Iger did say to Kathleen Kennedy, I mean, there was apparently there was a meeting. Bob Iger said, you have to fix this. You have to fix this. You know, we actually have some recording of that, when what her response was.
You're not my supervisor!
Oh, Kathy.
Yes, actually he is, sorry. But no, I think Bob Iger and George Lucas and JJ have kind of taken over the show. I really don't think Kathy is as in charge as anybody thinks she is.
Mm-mm.
I think the rumors are true, like Mecca was saying. Yeah, go ahead, Mary.
I'm just surprised she had the gall to show up on stage for a Star Wars Celebration, honestly. I guess she had to, but it's a
I was going to say, yeah, it's almost like out of obligation almost, but yeah.
Well, and they
blamed it all on what's-her-face, the writer that they got rid of, Rob. What was her name? Kiri
Hart.
Yeah, they gave her the shaft. They basically, somebody's head had to roll.
Right.
And it was Kiri.
You've got to have a scapegoat, right? Like you have to have somewhere to put all this stuff.
Catherine Robert Abel. Yeah, I'm sorry. It was Night Gallery. Yeah, not Nightmare Room. Nightmare Room is another one.
Oh, Night Gallery was pretty good too.
Yeah, I was going to say it, but I wasn't sure, so I didn't want to correct him.
Yeah. I do get it wrong occasionally. So. Yeah, but Kiri Hart was.
Mama Afro 3000 asks if she got any booze. I don't know. I wasn't there, but here's the thing: most of us, included, and I mean, we're kind of on the outskirts of the fandom menace, but we're still, I guess, a part of it. We're more well behaved than a lot of these people would lead you to believe. Mm-hmm. We're not going to make asses out of ourselves for no good reason.
No, because that where's the fun in that? A lot of the fun is pointing and laughing when like the other side makes complete fools out of themselves, and we're sneakier. We'll just take screenshots and report stuff. We're not going to like go cause trouble anywhere. This is why I'm like fine to go to Star Trek Las Vegas, because if anything happens, it's going to be Drekkies bothering me. They're going to come to me. I don't go to them, right?
Well, weren't you just telling a story, Mary, about, I can't remember who it was, but somebody involved with Geeks and Gamers was talking to somebody, and they were all cool and stuff until they found out they were part of Geeks and Gamers, and then they just like,
Yeah, exactly. I was actually just talking with him about that last night, that it was just this really great conversation that was happening between the two of them. And then all of a sudden, when it comes up that he's associated with Geeks and Gamers, like this person just completely and utterly backs off and won't talk to them anymore and is really frustrated. And like they essentially like retracted themselves into their phone and got to the point where like there was just like answers in response. And it was sort of a bizarre story to sit and listen to, because you just couldn't believe that was the actual reaction, because we know we're not the devil, right? We know we're good people. We know that at the end of the day, we don't actually have a problem with diversity. We just want a good story, right? We don't have a problem with these things that they're trying to push. At least most of us don't. And so to treat us as though we're horrible, terrible people when we don't fit that narrative, like when we show you we're not that person, we're not these people you think we are, and we're showing it to you, and then to still treat us that way is ridiculous and absolute. It's like living in the Twilight Zone. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Good callback there. But yeah, it is. It's kind of the MO of the SJW-isms and stuff that we talk about and gripe about here. And it's, the hypocritical nature of, they want to be all inclusive, but yet they're the most exclusive group there can be sometimes when it's like, oh, well, you don't agree with me? Well, fuck you. It's like, there's a few minutes ago until you realized who this person was, you had no problem with them. Now all of a sudden, just because of they're associated with geeks and gamers, you're going to have a big problem with them. That's a little short-sighted and
it's prejudice. It's just prejudice.
And all the things that you're out there claiming you're against. If you're one of these SJW type people that are, saying, "Oh, you're just against and that's the number one thing we always get called alt-right, against women and all that kind of shit. But that's just because they're jealous because we only hang out with the coolest women.
Usually, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, well, that's because they're fake geek girls that they have to pay to hang around them, don't know anything about anything, and they just have a stack of Funko Pops behind them and think that gives them geek cred because they've heard of something.
Yeah,
I love that. That just means they've heard of it.
I don't get the Funko Pops thing. Explain that to me. I mean, okay, yeah, all right. I guess they're kind of cool, but I'm not going to go out and buy them.
I think they got big. They're like the new Beanie Babies in a way, because half of it is because there is a collectible nature to them. Then you also have something to where they're geek related, but they're also cute enough to where girls can have them in their room. So I think that was a big thing. I'm willing to bet that a large majority of them are bought by girls, and I'm not trying to be sexist here, but I
think they are.
I have a feeling that
it's stuff for secretaries to put on their desk to say, "Hey, look at me! I'm nerdy too, just like you. I have something to talk about."
It's almost like I was trying to think of it's like a little, it's just like a little tchotchke or whatever. That's like a signal to the opposite sex that I'm cool. I'm with it. I like Star Wars. I like whatever.
That's why I have Freddy on my wall, though. I mean, I would rather not attract somebody who collects Funko things.
See, and me, I hate them. I fucking hate them. And the only ones that I have, and I've said this before, are the Little Shop of Horror and Gremlins ones. And that's because I want to support those two properties. And at least the creature ones generally look like what they look like in the movie. They're not some pop-eyed version of what they look.
Yeah, I've got like the Goose the Cat because I got that from my fans. Like, if you guys send me stuff, it's great because
there's some of them that are cool and cute. Right. Don't get me wrong. But those plain-faced ones that are just like really the main people ones are
the people ones because that's just
that one's cute.
Yeah, because
but I mean, the point though is that this isn't about some chick who bites a controller to make herself look sexy. That's not what makes you. It's the person who's sitting there like till 4 or 5 in the morning, telling themselves, "I'll sleep when Hyrule's safe." Right? Like that's a nerd. That's a geek right there. And there's a very big difference. It's not about what you look like in terms of on the outside or how many Funkos you collect. It's about whether or not you genuinely care about this culture. And I'm sorry, but there are a lot of posers out there. They've appropriated our culture.
Oh, yes. Yep. Oh, yes. And that was kind of my point I was getting to. And I think the pops are almost, for the most part, not all in general, but a lot of it surrounds this idea of it's cool to be geek now culture. Mm-hmm. That's what I was getting at. Yeah.
Yeah. The people who really have no business being in the geek culture.
It's the big bangification of
pretty much
right
of nerd culture. Yeah.
Well, this is why like Game of Thrones is so popular right now, and everybody's talking about it because it's geeky and it's cool and like it's dragons and boobs with not a lot of dragons or boobs,
Yeah, but it's enough to titillate most young men that aren't generally getting them type of things on an average basis. They're probably too young to even be watching the show in the first place. And the older women who really love the fantasy aspect and the soap opera fantasy aspect.
Oh yeah, I mean it's fine. It's fine. It's just one of those things where like I really liked what I saw of it, and then like didn't really have a whole lot of draw to go back to it.
And the guys who just watch it with their, because they're like, I can't believe she's watching this with me.
Yeah.
Shut my mouth.
Well, Jason Momoa is pretty. I mean, and he was in it, so.
Yeah, as we normally call them, the normies. I think that was coined by Gary, wasn't it, over at Nerdrotic? I think he's the first person.
I've been saying normies forever, or posers. I want to bring back posers. We need to bring that word back.
Yeah, we did survey some women and what they thought of Aquaman, Jason Momoa and Aquaman. This is what they had to say.
Sploosh.
So.
Yeah, that's not what.
Mary, are you a fan of Archer? Please tell me. Please say yes.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to disappoint you.
Oh no, oh, it's okay. Well, that's all right. Oh, like then it's not like that's the first time I've ever been disappointed.
Oh, Rob.
I love that you embraced that though. That was great. Okay.
That's okay. Well, I just saw some Archer news. There's no air date yet, but this season's going to be 10. It's not going to be 10 episodes. It's only going to be 8 episodes, and it's going to be like I said, they're doing tributes. Actually, doing tributes to a lot of sci-fi, Star Trek, Alien, Space 1999. So, yeah. So it's supposed to start in May. No details yet. No, not a lot more details than that. So probably Archer's probably still in the coma. So anyway, I freaking love Archer.
I'll have to look it up.
I'm a huge, it started off as a spy parody because I'm such a huge James Bond fan. It was right up my alley. Well, I hadn't watched it for a long time. Somebody described it the way somebody described it. It didn't sound that appealing. Oh, he's a spy, but he works for a corporation. I thought he was like spying on other corporations, like it was like industrial espionage. When I started watching, I'm like, yeah, this is really good. Why didn't I watch this sooner? And now they've used the fact that he's been in a coma to reinvent the series as like a 1930s pulp adventure and a 1940s noir detective series. And now they're going a sci-fi. So that's actually pretty cool. So anyway, that's the Archer news. So hopefully
that's the, if I just want to make sure I understand, that's the guy with the eye patch, is that right? It's like the cartoon or whatever? Or am I
yeah, that was last season, yeah.
Oh.
John Benjamin, like from Dr. Katz, is the voice of Archer, and Bob's Burgers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah, they were smuggling cocaine, and he goes, we have 3,000 kilos. How much is that in pounds? Pounds is street value of $200 million. No, how much is it in pounds? Doctor Who money.
Oh.
So okay. Yeah, they do get a bit esoteric with the references. It's like they made it. Yeah. Tom. Okay, Tom. The crickets indicate I've talked about Archer enough. Okay. All right. What were we talking about? I don't even remember now. Game of Thrones.
I don't care. I was just fucking with you. I was actually like 10 seconds too late on that. So
yeah, Neil, just the tip. Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah. Just the tip. Just the tip.
Captain April says we need this on the soundboard. We need Mary Tyler Moore saying, "Oh, Rob."
Yeah. I used to know someone. She used to say that. I was like, "Oh, Rob." Like, you're lucky I get that reference.
I was going to say I understand that reference.
Yeah.
I get the reference, but I'm old.
Yeah. Well, I'm the oldest guy here, though.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for.
Yeah, but I feel it.
I get up in the morning. Sometimes it's like I'm making popcorn. Jeez, and my drinks crack.
Same here. Same here.
But I still, you get up and just you move. Ah, that never hurt before. I didn't even do anything fun to get it that way.
That happened last week. That happened to my knee last week. My knee, I heard it and I have no idea how. I'm just getting old, I guess.
You sleep. Oh, you must have slept on it wrong. How is there a wrong way to sleep?
I guess it's just a thing now. Like once you hit 30, it's over.
Oh, please. 30 wasn't so bad. Okay, well, let's we have another topic, Tom? Or do we
I don't know. I just like listening to you guys banter.
Like I said, apparently I'm going on an autism walk, and somebody's going to get. Somebody has said I'm getting a tattoo. They haven't given me a choice in that matter.
Really?
I'm like,
so what do you have to get? Can you get something like maybe like the Apple logo or something?
Apple logo, like Apple Records?
Yeah.
Probably, maybe, I don't know.
Like Apple Core, I should have said.
Would you get to like pick it or whatever? Like,
well, that's what I would do.
Where does it have to be somewhere like they see, or can you get it somewhere like hidden?
No, that's the thing. That's the thing. If I'm gonna get a tattoo, I'm gonna get it somewhere where nobody has to see it unless I want to show them.
Hmm.
Otherwise, I don't want to be attacked by the sleeve monster. The sleeve when the guy, the guys get a tattoo, all of a sudden their sleeves will roll up. Hey, and they're like, hey, how's it going? Oh, funny, you should know that. I'm like, yeah, you cut the sleeves off all your shirts. Like, I can't not notice it.
Mm.
So,
yeah, that's what I did with both of my tattoos. So.
Oh, you have tattoos?
I do. I have 2.
Where, if you don't mind my asking? And if you don't, now, mind you, if you don't tell me, I'm just going to imagine the dirtiest place possible.
Can we see it? See, it's my job to come in.
Well, one of them is fairly innocent. It's just Tinkerbell on my right hand shoulder, my right shoulder. She's sort of sitting there laughing. And then the other one is on my butt. And it's a heart.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a reference to the fact that when I was a nursing assistant, back when I was about 18 years old, they used to call me Mare Bear in reference to Care Bear because I was a big caregiver. And so, yeah, I got a heart on my butt.
Rob wants to give it a good Care Bear stare.
So, yeah.
All right.
So, yeah. I'll get another one.
Stare.
I used to tell people I couldn't get a tattoo because when you're an undercover cop, that's fine. For a long time, people thought I thought I was a cop. I'm like, no, I'm not a cop. You kidding me? I'm too short.
Why would they think you're a cop? Just because you're mysterious?
Yeah. I actually had somebody ask me, so are you a cop? I'm like, why do you think I'm a cop? Well, not everybody knows. I started hanging out somewhere new. It's like people don't know a lot about you. And there's a word going around that you're a cop. I should have said, shh, not supposed to tell anybody. Just
right?
Down here.
Own it.
Yeah, exactly.
Own it and run with it, man. And then give people super awkward stares whenever they're doing stuff. And you're like looking at them as though you suspect them of something, or just follow them. Well, that's really creepy. Like follow them around in the dark, like in a trench coat. Like, I know what you're up to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would run with that.
Are you a cop? He goes, well, actually, the good answer was like, no, but I do own a pair of handcuffs for friendly purposes.
Giggity.
Nice black.
No, I don't own handcuffs. I don't own handcuffs. But while we got you here, I did get arrested actually once. Actually, technically wasn't arrested. I was taken into custody by the NYPD. I sold. This is how lame this story is. Okay, I sold one New York Yankee playoff ticket for face value in front of Yankee Stadium. They said, "Didn't you see the sign?" I said, "What sign?" He points to the sign 20 feet in the air on the side of the building, on the outside of the stadium. Tickets cannot be resold within 1,000 feet of this structure. I'm like, oh great, now you tell me. They held me on a bus parked on 161st Street for 4 hours, and all I remember was I had to pee really badly. The cops were good about it, though. Then afterwards,
you go to jail. You go to jail for that, or
no. They just had Giuliani was mayor of New York back then. He said get everybody off the street selling tickets. One of those quality of life things. But there was a whole thing about how the Yankees wanted a new stadium at the time. They wanted the city to pay for it, and they were threatening to move them to New Jersey, so they had to kiss. So city of New York had to kiss their ass so he wouldn't make good on his threat. I'm like, he was never going to leave anyway. There's no what looks better on a hat, the NY or an NJ, the New Jersey Yankees, really?
Mm.
Yeah, the Secaucus Yankees. Yeah, that doesn't have the same ring. So anyway, that's how late I had to go. Yes, it is. I had to go to court about a month later and pay a $75 fine. And that brought that
better off just eating the ticket in the end, huh?
Yeah, I would have. Which is why I bought the tickets for somebody. Somebody was supposed to go, and he stiffed us. And so, since then, I always say, "Give me the." What was that?
You didn't want to get screwed.
Yes.
Or
Giggity.
Sorry.
And so every time I ask for money. What was that, Tom?
Are you ready for the sex, girls?
Yes.
He already got demonetized, but I don't need to get claimed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was that story. So yeah, like Ron Wyatt. I told you that story to tell you this one. No, I don't have another one. Joker79 says he hated the Yankees even when he rooted for Arizona after 9/11. Shows you how much I hate them. Well, a lot of people hate them. So anyway. Anyhow.
I'm indifferent to them.
Okay. All right. Well,
Sports ball. I don't know.
Sports ball. Mecca doesn't know anything about sports ball.
All I know
Our
is
audience-
Ninja Warrior.
All you know is what?
The Ninja Warrior. That's like as close to sports ball as I get.
Remember MXC? MXC was awesome.
I didn't see that one.
MXC most extreme elimination challenge with the Japanese game show Takeshi's Castle and these overdubbed.
Okay, I remember
English
Takeshi's Castle. Yeah, I saw some of that. It was overdubbed with Craig Charles from Red Dwarf. I think I saw the British.
It's time for Loogie Launch. They used to give all kinds of gross names to all the events. It's time for Eat Shiitake. Yeah, it's oh god, that was hysterical. Oh god, I mean, they used to get hurt really bad on that show. Oh my god, the guys, the correspondent Guy Ledouche. It's time for Guy Ledouche. Let's go kick it over to Guy. Oh, you are so turning on Guy right now.
Is it like Warrior Ninja? Am I thinking of it?
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
American
Ninja
like Warrior. They have the American version.
Wipeout.
Or Wipeout is similar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a Viacom property, so we can't play a clip here. So they'll lower the hammer on us. So anyway, what else do we have to talk about, Tom? Yeah. Any other news?
No, we pretty much filled our quota for today, I think.
We have a quota?
Yeah. I have to appear on like 7 live streams in a day.
Jesus.
Every day. That's my quota. I'm slacking today.
I have a quota and a nickel and a dime.
This is my fourth one. I'm not quite up there with you, Mecca, but I'm tired.
I need about 350.
You went and gave that Loch Ness Monster 350, didn't you?
Hey, if anyone wants to give me 350 to my
God damn it, woman.
to my thing. To my thing. What's my thing? My GoFundMe.
No, he was alone.
It's at 565, where I might go and get a tattoo already in Vegas. I don't know.
Give till it hurts.
Give me all your money, like JP says.
Yes, there it is. See, how could you not want to contribute to that face right there?
To go and get in trouble with talking about Star Trek and singing King on karaoke with Gowron and Martok and
are you gonna punch? Are you gonna if you see Alex Kurtzman, what would you do?
I would record every minute of it. Are you kidding? That guy's gold. That's what my channel's based on. Him being an idiot. Between him and Brie Larson and Michael Burnett. Oh yeah, they're gold. Yeah,
you just have to load the ding sound on your phone.
Yeah, ding. Oh my god, I'll be doing that. They'll be like, "What is the ding?" So yeah, if you guys are interested in going and hanging out too, if you're going to be in Vegas, come say hi during the Star Trek convention. I will be out there somewhere.
Yeah, unfortunately, if I ran into Alex Kurtzman, this would be me. It's not suitable for publisher. Yeah. So we do have a sound for Alex Kurtzman,
and he'd be like,
and
everything starts with and. This guy's not a writer. Every writer knows you don't start a sentence with and.
You can, but it just sounds dumb. I don't like it.
It sounds amateurish.
It does.
They don't have any problem with starting every new Star Wars movie with the word "the."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wish they would start the new Star Wars movies with Skywalkers and not like an hour of Rey being scrawny and emaciated in the desert. Eat a sandwich, right? Between her and Brie Larson. Just these girls are so scrawny.
I have my you made me play my Brie Larson sound now.
I am woman, hear me roll.
That is Brie Larson's actual scream from Captain Nobody Gives a Fuck.
Captain Disney had to buy their own tickets, allegedly.
I heard that nice little rumor. I wouldn't put it past him. My theater was like not even half full.
Yeah, same here. There's no shortage. If you wanted to see Captain Marvel, you are not getting turned away.
Mm-hmm. I went to a screening on that Thursday. The theater was actually pretty decent. It was pretty decently filled up. I had to sit in the front. There were still seats in the front. I sit in the front, and but I did look around about 3/4 of the way through the movie, and I did notice the guy sitting to the left and the guy sitting to the right, and they were both noticeably bored.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. It was very boring. It was a boring.
She was like watching a wooden plank. My theater was empty enough because I didn't actually buy a ticket for Captain Marvel. I bought a ticket for How to Train Your Dragon 3, and I didn't have any problem finding a seat. Although I'm still I really hope I wasn't sitting in the guy who was sitting right next to me's seat. But he did. He just sat right next to me, and it was really awkward. And it's like I was sitting there thinking, I'm pretty sure this is this guy's seat, and he's trying to tell me like subliminally, but he doesn't want to say anything. Either that, or he was just a creeper.
See, I just got up and moved, but like, oh, I think I sat in the wrong seat. I'm sorry.
Well, they were supposed to be assigned seating, so I just had to dig in my heels and like stick to my guns, like I belong here. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Well, I'm out of topics. Yeah. Well, we can keep going as long as you like.
So long story short, they do Star Wars stuff not impressive.
Mm.
No, like I said, it's looking more and more like they really are trying to make it up to fans.
Mm.
It really is.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't really care because you still got Rey wandering around with her unearned superiority, and I just don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's true. She does have that unearned superiority. You're absolutely right, because she's unless they do something where she was manipulated by Palpatine all along and can't do anything, which they might do, then she's just going to be completely OP for no reason.
I mean, like 1,000 generations of Jedi within her. No, she didn't earn that. I don't care.
And they're screaming, "Let us out!"
Well, that's what I said. You just need to have evil look itself in the eye, and then they'll be free. Tom, is that the one?
Evil sees itself.
Because now I'm getting 3 and 4 mixed up because it's been so long. Because
you're right. It was 4. 3 was where they buried his ass and they consecrated him. 4 is where they made him look at himself.
Yeah. Because he was starting to collect the souls though in 3, right? I think Freddy was starting to collect souls in part 3. Didn't he like rip open his shirt and these are the souls of my children, or is that part 4? God, I'm a bad Nightmare on Elm Street fan.
That's a movie I have never seen.
I have the Nightmare on Elm Street 3 poster on my wall with Freddy and the syringes, and it's kind of awesome. It's 3 and 4 are my favorites, and I think that's why I mix them up so much. Like, just it's been a while since I've seen 4, and I really need to fix that.
Here I am talking without any I'm muting.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, 3, 4, and 5 all go together. They all have the soul part.
Yeah, they're all
3 they consecrate and bury his ass. 4 she makes him look at himself.
Yeah,
and then kind of 5 Jacob unleashes his power back onto him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Spoilers for a 30-year-old movie.
For a 30-year-old horror movie that no one wants to see because it's horror. We're the only 2 old fogies who like the horror movies.
Dream Warriors rocks, so that's awesome.
I love Dream Warriors. And 3 and 4 are so good, both of them.
Just don't do horror. That's what I put down. I won't be watching another Aliens movie until people
see. No, Nightmare on Elm Street though, and I've said this to Rob, and I don't know how well you handle horror because I heard not too well. But see, the Nightmare on Elm Street. No, Rob, I know you. I'm talking about Mary. She was talking about it last night. I think it was. Said you puked or something like that.
I just don't do horror. Well, I was watching. It was actually Braveheart that made me puke, but I almost puked on Aliens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't do horror. I don't do gore. It's just
Well, see, Nightmare on Elm Street's more fantasy than
Mhm.
it's more fantasy suspense than I'd call it horror or gore or slasher. There's some stuff that's probably gory or horrific, but it's got a lot more class than a lot of the slasher flicks of the time.
Mm.
Hmm.
It's hard to convince me of those things just because I don't want to.
Oh no, I'm just saying.
I wouldn't even think Alien are that gory.
I know everybody keeps thinking I was just really sheltered, so I guess everybody just thinks I'm this big chicken or whatever, and maybe I am, but I just don't know. I just can't. It's just very disturbing.
That's like me in anime. I just can't. I just can't care. I just can't be ours sometimes.
You know, I've offered suggestions, but
It's a cartoon. Can it not be
and I don't-
animated? Can it not have the?
Mecca, you're not into anime?
No.
Oh no, girl! Oh. We can fix that. We
Yeah.
can fix that.
People have tried for years. People have tried for years.
I've offered suggestions and nothing. Yeah.
You just step in slowly with like some Studio Ghibli, and then you move your way on up to.
Oh God, no! I've seen enough of those to know that those are absolutely not for me.
Aw.
I hate most things, though. To be fair, and that's like a thing.
Have you ever seen? You've never seen Princess Mononoke?
No, I know.
Girl, it's so good. Like that's actually legit gory, though.
I don't like horror actually that much.
It's
I really
not
don't.
horror.
Like
It's
I like
fantasy.
horror,
It's a fantasy.
Oh, and I hate fantasy. That's the thing. I really hate fantasy. Like
It's
Willow,
giant
you
wood-
can't watch Willow. You can't.
giant woodland animal gods.
Oh
and-
God. I'm already rolling my eyes here. No,
No,
I can't do fantasy.
it really is a beautiful story. Honestly, the most boring part about it is Princess Mononoke to me.
Yeah, because that's the one with like the really annoying girl, or is that the one I'm thinking of?
Well,
You think it's
no,
Spirited Away? I probably
That's
think.
the one.
I love Spirited Away. What?
I saw Spirited Away at a little like art house theater here, and they actually had the wrong print. It was completely in Japanese with no subtitles.
What? But Disney did a really great job of redubbing that.
Oh, I fucking hate it.
I wanted to. Well, you know what? I got it free, and I'm gonna watch it anyway. So,
Yeah, I tried to watch Akira. I think I fell asleep during that one. I've fallen asleep during every anime I think I've tried to watch if it's a film.
Honestly, though, if you're going to get thrusted into a foreign film and not have subtitles, I would imagine it's probably easier to understand what's going on in an animated film than in a live action film.
Yeah.
See, I don't have any problem with like the live action Japanese stuff sometimes if I'm watching it and like, oh, I forgot to like read because I'm just watching what's going on. But I tend to watch.
You also probably know what's going on too.
In the balls
You've seen it before, yeah.
the other suggestion I offered was the Castle of Cagliostro, and even that's a little bit easier to to absorb because it's a comedy and it's not that out there. I mean, it's set in Central Europe. There's no fantasy aspects to it. It's the main character Lupin the Third is based on a real
animated. I think that's my big thing. Is like as long as it's not animated, as long as it doesn't.
There's a live action version of Iria that you might like.
I don't know. Anytime there's like a live action something that's based on anime, it's just because here's the thing. I don't like fantasy, and I like sci-fi despite like most sci-fi. But no, like people are saying, "Oh, you should check out this AV." I'm like, no. I'm not the person. I'm not qualified.
Like anime or animated stuff.
Both.
Both.
Both. I like Corner Gas animated though, but that's based on the live action series, and it just happens to be animated. I don't like it because it's animated. I don't know. I just can't see it. I can't focus on it. It's too blurry, too flashy. It's too. I don't know. There's something about animation. Like I can watch Family Guy if I'm like listening to it on another screen, or South Park. Like South Park, I can stand. I really, really love actually South Park, but that has nothing. Like this animated has nothing to do with it. It's like what is being said in there.
Yeah, the animation on South Park is just more of a carrier. It's like a cracker. You know.
You will respect my authority.
It's just a cracker, a carrier for you to put stuff on. You know, like meat and cheese. The meat and cheese is just Trey and Matt being able to just riff all through a show, basically. I mean, they do 90% of the voices.
And I think that's why I don't really like a lot of these modern sort of science fiction films and TV shows, because they're so heavily animated. And yes,
I don't like computer animation, but I love 2D standard animation. And as far as anime goes, I've seen some. I haven't really gotten into a bunch, so I totally understand that. But I, on the other hand, do love animation. But you're like on the other side of the spectrum where you just absolutely hate it.
Yeah, I'll like something despite it being animated, but it's like usually the last thing. Like my favorite Saturday morning cartoon was Pee-wee's Playhouse. If that tells you anything about me. And Land of the Lost. Yeah, the 1970s Land of the Lost and Pee-wee Herman, Pee-wee's Playhouse. Those are my favorites. So.
I never liked Pee-wee's Playhouse. It always seemed really, I don't know, like it was bordering on the obscene to me.
That's because Pee-wee was bordering.
It was for adults. Oh, and
if you see the original character that was based on, then yeah, you'd probably understand why you feel that way.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see if I can find. Let me see if I can find.
There's definitely a very adult skew to it.
Oh yeah, you've got Bissy Vaughn saying, you know, or like flirting with the shirtless fireman or shirtless mechanic, and he's like, "I'd be right back. I just need to get a bigger tool." And she's like, "And the right tool for the right job." You know, just all these little. They're making all these sexual innuendos. It's
oh yeah, Pee-wee's very well aware of it.
Yeah, Howard did a sketch years ago on the Channel 9 show back when the whole Pee-wee thing broke. Pee-wee Herman, instead of Pee-wee's Playhouse, it was Pee-wee's Play With Yourself House.
That was probably after he got caught.
Of course.
Theater.
Yeah. Yeah. He goes, and he had Fred, he had Ted the janitor. That was the guy who worked at Channel 9. Came out, he goes, Who are you? Who are you? I'm the king of Pornland. He goes, Check out my movie, Screw the Right Thing. I was like, oh, God. I couldn't believe they're actually getting away with Channel 9. It was great. He goes, yeah, this, and he breaks character. Oh God, this sketch looks so much better when we were writing it. And so yeah, they would break the sketch for quite a bit, break character quite a bit. Oh God, it was such a funny bit though. Is Is you looking at my blanket, Robin? Pee-wee, are you playing with yourself again? Buddy of mine actually did it. He used to do. Buddy of mine used to do T-shirts when he was living in Austin, Texas. He had a picture of Pee-wee Herman on the front. It said Pee-wee when he plays with his friends, and a picture of Paul Rubens when he got busted with the goatee and the long hair. Pee-wee when he plays with himself on the back. I wish I had one of those shirts now. I really did.
I kind of want that shirt.
Me too, but at least then, yeah, that's one of those things where that reminded me of one of the first times you had like what we have now with the internet panic and everybody just publicly judges everybody before they even know the whole story half the time. Because to this day, I still hear versions of that story. So, oh, didn't he jerk off in front of a bunch of kids or something on the show? It's like, no, you moron.
He went to a theater.
Right. As I said, the only reason he got caught is because he was Pee-wee Herman. Even though he had long hair and a beard and everything like that, they still recognized his ass. Because I guarantee you, everybody else in that theater was doing the same fucking thing he was, more or less.
Yeah. Yeah. There's. Oh yeah. I mean,
he would visit his parents. He'd duck out for a little bit to go get, just a little hand action at the local porn theater. Because, back in the day, we didn't have computers, folks. You had to actually either go out and rent the shit or go see it on the big screen.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You had to leave the house if you want to see a dirty movie. Imagine that.
That's right.
Yeah. That's where you could tell who was that was the sign that you were an adult. I mean, if you had to actually go and you could actually go and you could buy adult imagery.
You'd walk in and you go, "Where is your book, sir?" Or "Where is your room?" With that little twitch in your eye because you know what you were talking about. And they'd be like,
I know, yeah.
Adult room.
Like I said, I did a stand-up show actually in a video store, and actually
Disney sandwich.
Yeah, don't do the Disney sandwich, kids. Do not do the Disney sandwich. Everybody know what Disney sandwich is?
What are you about to ruin for me?
The Disney sandwich?
What is the Disney sandwich? I just stay away from Disney in general because
It's where you grab Disney movies. Oh, go ahead, Rob. You want to tell it because I think you have a bit.
No, you were on the way to tell it. You get 2 family films, and you go and you put a porn, an adult movie or porn movie in between them, and when you bring it to the counter to try to hide the fact that you're, renting porn, but that just makes you look like a pervert.
You look so much worse.
Exactly.
That's the point. Yes.
No.
That's what's so hilarious about it. They actually make fun of it in Jersey Girl, a very underrated Kevin Smith film, mind you.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. I think it's a good movie. But all right, one of George Carlin's best performances ever.
Yeah. All right, let's. You can't believe the Disney sandwich. Yeah, that's what we talk about here. All right.
I would just run the I wouldn't lower my standards to rent a Disney film.
Yeah, but see, it's cool for a chick to walk up and rent porn. For a guy, it's embarrassing in most cases.
I would be more embarrassed to rent that.
Why would you rent porn anymore? We have the internet.
Oh yeah, well, I mean,
Yes, we were old back then.
Yeah.
Ray, why don't we talk about Game of Thrones? We did in the beginning. We talked about how we don't watch it.
Mm-hmm. All right, everybody. Like I said, we pretty much beat this to death.
Yeah, we might as well check out. So, Mary, tell everybody where they can find you since you're our guest here tonight.
Oh, sure. I am Mary Mayhem. I bring the mayhem. I like to think of myself as one of those reasonable women who treats men with some measure of dignity and respect. And I try to kind of get into that a little bit on my channel as much as possible. It's just sort of letting guys know, like, you're not out there alone. I know it gets a little hairy from time to time where you have to deal where you have to deal with crazy chicks who treat you like there's something wrong with you for wanting to treat women like women. And so I try to bring back a measure of sanity to this crazy world, as well as covering pop culture and things like specifically Star Wars is one of my big things, but Marvel as well I cover quite a bit. So I sort of bounce back and forth between those two and, just sort of figuring this whole YouTube thing out. Yeah.
Cool. I got your link in the chat. People want to check that out. So they can subscribe to your channel. And Scravage gives us $1.99, says, bye all. Thanks for the show. And Rob, Shazam.
Shazam!
You don't look any different yet.
Damn.
You have to be holding your stick at the same time, though.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, hold your stick.
What?
Hold. Maybe.
The one that the wizard told you to grab?
Giggity, giggity.
I'm so sorry.
That's what happened. I didn't make it up.
She's not lying.
I'm riding around in the Winnebago with the desert fighting crime with that old guy.
They managed to ignore that character completely.
All right, Mecca, tell them about your channel.
I am Mecha Random 42. I talk about the good things like Godzilla and Cobra Kai and the bad things like the Marvel Cinematic Universe lately. This Star Trek, Star Wars, all that stuff. And do not sub to me if you want anime coverage. I do not do any of that. And no, don't suggest anything. It's not going to work.
Well, we all have our
I have a
strengths.
GoFundMe to go to Star Trek Las Vegas. Give me money to go to Star
Yes.
Trek Las Vegas. I still won't watch anime, but I will go to Las Vegas.
Yes. Go fund her so she can go to Vegas and harass Alex Kurtzman.
Well, record Alex Kurtzman.
All right. And like I said, if you can find us, you can find me here at Midnight's Edge and Midnight's Edge After Dark. Tom, you can find him here at Midnight's Edge and Midnight's Edge After Dark. Subscribe to the main channel, click the bell icon, like, and subscribe to here and click the main channel and click like and the bell icon. And make sure you indicate that you want to be notified of new content. That's the big thing. You have to select notify me when you click the bell icon. And if you do we have Subscribe Star up yet, or is that still on the back burner?
I think Andre's still working on it. If we haven't, he hasn't told me what it is yet. So when we do get that, we'll start sharing that in the.
Okay, yeah. For right now, I think we're still on Patreon. So if all the Patreon supporters get all kinds of bonuses, bloopers, outtakes, lost episodes, and more. You can also check out Behind the Edge making videos and my 10-minute stand-up set from back in December. Woohoo!
Yeah,
Yes.
just being able to update the Patreon a little more. Sorry about that, guys. There's been so much going on. It has been a bit quiet over there, but we're back in action. So
Yes.
maybe we'll get some more stand up from Rob. Who knows?
Actually, yeah, I think we got one coming up in June. Actually, so that's that.
Yeah, and we even talked a little bit to Jake about maybe trying to get some stuff going too. So you never know. Maybe we'll have some Gates Edge comedy stuff.
Well, the big problem is with that. I don't know the setup of the places that.
Right, and I talked to behind the scenes. I was going to talk to you and him, and maybe we could figure it out because I think I know the equipment you might need. So, but anyway.
Okay. Well, anyway, like I said, like I always say, if you don't have the means to support us on Patreon, just like, subscribe, click the bell icons, share with your friends, share with your neighbors, share with your enemies, share with everyone, because we cannot do this without you. Any final words?
Sonny and share.
Jaloja? Did we do Jaloja for a while?
Jaloja.
Mary, final words?
Thank you. I don't know what Jaloja is.
It's a Norville reference.
Am I about to be exiled?
No. You just got here. We're not going to exile you that quickly.
I make a good sandwich. If you want me to
Here's the thing. Mecca may not be into anime, but Rob is. And I'm not really into it, and you are. Okay, you're into Star Wars. We're all into Star Wars. We're not all into the same things. Mecca's really into Star Trek and stuff, and Rob is too, and all that. You know, we all have our different.
I'm a huge Babylon 5 fan. I love Stargate, Babylon 5. Cobra Kai was freaking amazing. I love that.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I love Cobra Kai. Love me some Cobra Kai. 10 days.
And that's animated watched just to kind of review it, even though I like it despite it being animated because it's all the same voice actors or the same actors from the show. It's just I think they're all getting too old and they decided, hey, we can do like a full-on Mad Max cutaway if we go animated. So,
And if you make a meat sandwich, that's your stock is rising. Mary, just to let you know that. Yes. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. It's Sunday night. Go, it's Monday morning, and have a good Monday. Have a good start to the week. There's the music. We're gonna catch you next time.
It's a warning. We'll be back before you know.
Turning into some kind of feminist? I like big Asian butts, and I cannot lie.
What am I gonna do?
Dream on, skin tube. Go to hell, you mutant offspring of comedy people.
I've done things I shouldn't do.